Well, friends, hello to everyone. This is 18 plus content again. Today, it's just info for most of you who work with height maps, who work with machines, again, with 3D engraving. Let's look at a model today. Create. New model. What's that? Crickets in the exhaust fan? That's a bad sign, by the way. When your exhaust fan starts squeaking, it means it's toast. So resolution 500 by 500. Release, import 3D model. From the desktop, we take the George tab. And accordingly, we'll now drop it onto the workspace, the zone. We'll make a height map out of it. So what do we have there? The tags proportion. Okay, let's look at the tag itself. So basically, it's more or less not bad. There. Again, well, I'll do it for myself now. At least it'll be easier for me to work this way. 490, apply, center it. That's enough. Click, paste. Here, again, well, what do I use ArtCam for? Just to choose the maximum size for myself needed for the work. And accordingly, next. Relief, export, save as. For the format, we write BMP. George. Got it. Click save, and let's move over to Coral. So for the work, we'll need our tag itself. Its full size is 270. Again, the size of our layout differs from our tag. Remember that we created a layout size of 490. Let's also set the tag dimensions. 490 in height, 490. There. Let's press Ctrl G. Let's add some unusual standout color and center it on our workpiece. Let's check that everything more or less matches up. I'm not interested in the hole here. It's interesting that the edge turned out quite well, just as we wanted, for which special thanks to certain people. Everything else is, well, more or less workable too. Out of all this, in reality, I only need the inner cutout. Here we do Ctrl U again, ungrouping. The idea is that we select our template again, and using Shift, we add the image and do the cropping. Now select the image itself. Wait, stop, page down. Okay, the image itself, and pull it away. Oh boy, what's going on? Control Z. I need to move everything to the background so I don't have to struggle. Yeah, now we're pulling out the image we cropped. So basically, we won't need anything else here. There's a small catch. This image is currently very large, and let's just say the program isn't designed to handle that, and there's no point. Look, Control C, Control V, or you could copy by moving it to the left and cloning with the right button. Thanks for the tip, by the way. To whoever's hinting at that, I get very distracted by all these details sometimes. My process is faster, 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 just to get everything done in this life. For the object we've selected, press Control E to export. Desktop, let's name it George here. BMP format. We'll use a PNG type format. Select it only, click export. Let's turn on the machine in the meantime. For those wondering why all of this isn't being engraved here, it's because of the PNG format and transparency, a transparent background, we use everything available. Click OK. There, and we'll save this one too. Control Shift S, desktop, name it untitled, name it George. Done. And save. So now we have a layout, a template of different sizes. Again, here we have additional, just so you understand, the contours needed for future cutting, a full-size cutout object, and the size we'll be using. In the Laser Emboss program, let's launch the Laser Emboss program. It takes a bit longer to start than usual compared to other programs because it's linked through a gray controller. Version 2 1410 is used specifically for all sorts of different tasks where you need to use a lot of different plugins, again as CAD 214 version 10. If I'm not mistaken, was used specifically with a full-sized LMC control card. Right, so it's like the version that isn't called light, and the masters who work with it really like it. But it has its flaws. So let's go in, load the picture, the image. By the way, here I would probably recommend look, although basically we'll set it up manually, okay? No big deal. Desktop, George, cropped PNG. We don't need anything else. The size we're going to engrave. Naturally, we could have made it as needed, meaning to fit the size of the tag. But my first task now, since our time is a bit limited today, is to set the position values to 0, size 50 by 27, well, more than enough for testing. But for the tag, I'll make it accordingly 24 by, I think, somewhere around 46.7. 20, let's check the ratio. Yes, the ratio is correct. Now we're hitting 50. The detail for now, I can't say if I'll see it or not, but overall, this will be more than enough. Engraving speed is 3000. 60% power, frequency 50. Again, we're working on stone here. Don't touch the key pulse. GPT-50LP works automatically. On its own, the fill density for titanium was 0.006. Set it to 0.03 millimeters, check bidirectional, calculate all. Now click OK, apply. Let's scroll through quickly. In theory, we don't need the first 5 layers, but let's just say we've done them more or less. We can scroll through the engraving process to see it visually, see how everything goes, the inscriptions and all that. Now all I have to do is remove the stone. But here we have a real problem. So what's up? We have 240 layers, 15 layers are missing because there was nothing to fill it with. What's the situation? We cut again in ArtCam the image directly, the values from the top edge to the bottom. We saved it in that format. So this bottom part of the table was equal to 0, which is black, the color. This background isn't black, so even if we sync the image a bit, let's say, it'll still come out at a certain height level, so naturally it's not engraved all the way. So there won't be 255 layers. There'll be fewer, like 241 minus the first layers, 235. Basically, it's fine for stone. And next, we'll test it on tags, on stainless steel and titanium. Such an interesting layout. Set it, press F1 and start the engraving process. Let's take a quick look at the design and its detail. Basically, we got everything we wanted here. The material removal quality, the base relief, the design, the volume. Now, the next task will be engraving this kind of material directly on metal, which in our case will be titanium, and we'll place this engraving on a titanium tag.